Hey, I'm keynote speaker and author Jones Loflin, helping you make the best choices with your time so you can thrive. I love virtual meetings, said no one ever. Virtual meetings are a reality in today's workplace. Unfortunately, we still are so ineffective, most of us, in how we carry out those meetings and how we use the time in that meeting and don't use it effectively. If you want to improve your virtual meetings, get more engagement from your team, make better use of everyone's time, here are 5 suggestions. The first one is to have an unofficial start. You know the normal routine. The meeting's supposed to start at 10. The meeting organizer will say, well, let's wait till a few minutes after. No, everybody's really busy. And so you punish the people who showed up on time and you reward the people who showed up late. Have an unofficial start about 3 or 4 minutes before the meeting is to begin. Have something that the people can talk about, like what's one of your favorite topics of conversation, or what's a win you've already had today. But do something to get people talking, to get them in that mode of participating even before the official meeting starts. Second suggestion is to connect before content. Chad Littlefield does a fantastic job talking about this in his work. But connect the group before you actually jump into the content. Get them connected to whatever it is you're going to talk about. For example, for me, I'll say something like, what are you looking to gain from today's session? And when somebody tells me, I'll say, tell me more. And so it gets people on the same page before you dive into the content. A third suggestion is that every agenda item has an experiential element. Every agenda item has an experiential element. In other words, you want them to participate in some way, to give their thoughts in the chat, or unmute your mic and tell me what you're thinking about this topic. But make sure there's a plan to help get people participating for every agenda item. If you're saying to me right now, Jones, some of them are just updates, then it shouldn't be part of the meeting. That should have been sent in an email prior to the meeting. A fourth suggestion I have is to use more real objects and less screen share. Did you notice how when I stuck that card up to the camera, you kind of went, you kind of looked at it? People like motion and movement. Let's face it, when the slides come up, that's when we go check our email or check out. Have real items. Somebody gave me this hat this week, and look what it does. Wow. I could see where if I was leading a meeting, I say, I want you to think about, like this hat, what's something you could do differently? There'd be a tweak on what you're currently doing that might really help light the way to more productivity or better solutions. A final suggestion I have for you is to have a plan to close the meeting interactively. Don't just say, yeah, we'll send out an email, or, Zoom captured this with, its record feature, so we'll send out the minutes. No! While people are still in meeting mode, get some input from them on what they're going to do differently as a result of the meeting. For me, what was most valuable to you from today's session? What's an action item for you? What's an emotion you're experiencing after participating in this meeting? But do something to engage the team so that when the meeting is over, they'll go, wow, that was a good use of my time. Speaking of virtual meetings, if you have a virtual meeting coming up where you want to address a topic like work-life success, time management, change, focus, or leadership, I'd love to be a part of that. Reach out to me and let's talk about how to have a virtual keynote or training program that has your team going, wow, that was a valuable use of our time. I'm Jones Loflin. I hope it's a fantastic week for you where your virtual meetings are a good use of your time. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today in the Jones Zone.